Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum here on the weekend, just trailing sideways basically. It did break out of this, you could call it descending wedge we talked about yesterday, but we haven't really seen a massive increase in price or anything, but it could very well be. And that's the possibility I outlined to you yesterday, that wave 3 here could now be finished and we are moving up in a wave 4. But if that is the case, we would need to see a bit of a rally over the weekend, and it should take us, well, at least to 1465, which is the 23.6% FIB level. More likely would actually be the $1,500 level, which is the 38.2% FIB level. But it actually doesn't look to me that this move down is finished. If we go, on the lower time frame, you can't really count 5 waves here, unless it's some kind of an ending diagonal here. But yeah, even if it's finished or not, it's sort of getting to its exhaustion here. I think this wave 3. Alternatively, and it is possible to count it like that as well. And I showed you that possibility before. It's not necessarily my, let's say, primary expectation, but we can also count this entire move if we change the overall wave pattern from an A, B, C into a W, X, Y. Then we can count this as a wave A. There will be a wave B coming and a wave C down. So anybody who wants to get out, who might have bought somewhere here, the wave B might be an option. Now I can't promise you if the wave B is going to happen, but it would be a more substantial move to the upside. It's definitely a possibility. And also here, I wouldn't say that wave A is finished. It could still go a bit lower, maybe to 1360, 1300 before we move up in a B. But it doesn't really need to. I mean, I would say we're not finished with this move down yet before we get a retracement, but I can't promise that. So in a wave B, we would look at, something around maybe even the $1,600 level, the 50% FIB level. But bear in mind, a wave B is unpredictable. So the only way I would trade this is if I had something open, I wanted to get out just to see how high the wave B really goes and then try to scale out here sort of towards the end of a 3-wave move. So that's one possibility, ABC. It's not my primary, the ABC, because it would be based on the larger WXY pattern, which is just not my primary expectation. I think the overall ABC in a wave 2 fits better, but it is a possibility. And then of course, we've got the option of a wave 4. But again, just need to say that all possibilities are still pointing to the downside into this region between 1130 and 1330 that we've been expected for a month or even longer. No, longer, isn't it? Because we've been talking about that actually when we were on the way up, that we are going to see this wave 2. The only problem is that here the impulse didn't reach my target. I think it was like $20 short, unfortunately, but that is what it is. We then talked about the move to the downside here, and in a wave 2 ideally. I can't promise you, of course, that this area will hold between 1130 and 1330. That's only the area of the highest likelihood for a wave 2. It could go a bit lower, and if it goes to $1,000, not necessarily a major problem. But if we go anywhere below that, then I think we are rather in an impulse down. Then it's getting more likely that we're actually heading down, and we are going to see lower levels below 880. Okay, so the way to play this was to take some profits up here. I've been throughout that entire move up, I talked about the start to take some profit taking. I did talk about it throughout the last wave up here, because it was an uncertain wave. It was getting a bit messy up here. You will remember that if you've been following me. It was getting a bit messy, and I wasn't entirely sure if we how much this could have been the top. Absolutely could have been. Well, it did in the end go higher, but I started to talk about scaling out and taking some profits. Okay, so that was the way how to play this, and then either to let it run or to start scaling in down here and then taking some profits here, even though a wave B is extremely difficult to trade. And then I also talked about a possible short trade setup from this yellow area to the downside, which would be working out for anybody who wanted to do it. And I always said, wait for the first 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the 3 could have been shorted on a lower time frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. So this is sort of how you can play these things. Yeah, I wouldn't bother trading the wave 4. It's normally a shallow one. The wave B is unpredictable. I wouldn't bother. Again, the only thing is, if you're interested on the spot market to start scaling in here, if you like to, but that's up to you, entirely up to you, in anticipation of a potential move to the upside, or if you're already in a position and you want to get out just to see if it's playing out, and you can scale out, of course. But overall, I'm still expecting lower levels. So whatever way we take, you know, it's like you want to go to a certain town or city, there's 2 ways to go. Yeah, I can't tell you which one the market is choosing, but they should go into this direction. Key level to watch is the 1653 level. If we go above that, we would need to reconsider all of this. But until we get there, and at the moment I see downside pressure playing out, yeah. So there is a potential for a weekend recovery, but ideally only after another dip, I think. But anyway, we need to be ready for some kind of a recovery here, either in a wave 4, which could again be very shallow, or a wave B, which could be a bit stronger. And then the last leg down. And that's basically my update about Ethereum now. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.